Ceiling fan blowing cold breeze on your body. I can't tell you really what it is, but you got it. Makeup in the morning, you got dresses in your closet, but you grab them tight, you in love with being modest. You a move body giving centrifuges. I'm just saying I'm amused, but you ain't even flexing. And you cool, tatted up, cover warm, different vibe, you new and pro, but you ain't even flexing. And you ain't gotta try too hard. Number one fan, your side, your applaud. Let me think about it side the most. Words go deep, it's like a sword. Making me better, you hotter than pepper, You with a big stepper who chasing a cheddar, All of these women, they not on your level, You like a mix of business and pleasure, You a move body giving centrifuges. I'm just saying I'm amused, but you ain't even flexing. Then you cool, tatted up, cover warm, different vibe, you new and pro, but you ain't even flexing. But you ain't even flexing.
Hello, hello, hello. It's me again. This is Real Talk with Amiri, doing another one. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Amiri. I am your wonderful host, Amira, and we're going to be talking about a topic today that has been challenging to me. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing okay. I hope people are dealing with life in a good way, a positive way. Sometimes you have to look at things in reverse. You have to, things that are negative, you got to reverse it to positive. Say something good about it. Think of something else. And sometimes you just got to pretend that your life is better than really what it is. Whatever makes you feel better. But yes, this has been a challenging last few weeks for me. And it's probably challenging to other people. And the topic of my podcast is having a house guest that is an alcoholic and, from what I see, pretty dysfunctional in his lifestyle. Some of the things that he does. But yes, that is my topic today. Living with a friend who is an alcoholic. And yes, he is a temporary roommate, house guest. And I do, I understand that people have addictions and, addictions. I've watched some shows on intervention shows when people are, I think I've seen people on there that have an alcohol problem and also drug addictions. And I would really, really want to suggest that you let your kids watch some of those shows. We're always trying to hide things and, my kid doesn't need to see a show. Like, yes, they do, because those people who are on those shows were once kids and they thought it okay to dibble and dabble in drugs and eventually become addicted. Some people become addicted the first time they do drugs. Some it takes longer. Some people never become addicted, but I don't think people know. You don't know if you're going to be that person that does become addicted. But today I will be sharing a little bit of my own personal experience of living with a friend who is an alcoholic and how it is impacting me and frustrating me. And it definitely is. And let's start from day one. And even previous from day one. I've known this person, and this is someone I met on Facebook that has become my friend, quote unquote, because I don't always feel the friend vibes coming back to me. I'm always trying to be a friend and help out and do what I can, but I don't always feel those things return back to me. But this is someone I originally met on Facebook, had become his friend, gave him a ride to work for a few months on the weekends when they didn't have a ride. And the bus was, this is what they said, running late, and I can imagine that. But that's how our friendship started out. Then we went to giveaways together. If anybody knows me, they know I go to food giveaways to help my family with extra food. And I have people that live with me that don't work. One of my daughters, she has my two grandchildren. Two of my grandchildren. She actually has three grandchildren. But one of my granddaughters lives with her dad's family. But she hasn't worked in the last 3 years. I don't know why. Y'all talk to her. But I go to giveaways to help feed the family. And we also went to some giveaways together. My friend and one of his family members actually does a giveaway. So we went to that giveaway too. And I would go pick them up in the morning, go to the giveaway, drop them off. And then at times, he was asking for, 20 here, 20 there. I call it the 20 people. But, and this was further along in our friendship. And sometimes I would pay for him to Uber home from work because he has all of these health issues. He's also overweight. So, just to help him out. Whatever. And a Uber ride is what, $10 maybe. That's not gonna kill me. But anyway, it's been some of that throughout the years. And so let's fast forward to this year. And actually, let's go a little bit in the past again. He had actually went to a shelter at one point. He had lost his home, some during COVID. His job that he had shut down during COVID. And I've always known that he has been a drinker, but I really wasn't close up to it. So you never know until you live with somebody. When people get married and then you have to live with somebody, if you've never lived with them, or you're in relationships with people and you've never lived with them, you might want to try that out for a little bit first, because living with someone and just seeing someone as a friend is different. Living with people is very different. But he had went to a shelter a couple years ago, and a year or two ago, and actually got a voucher to live somewhere for a whole year for free. Now, if I live somewhere, and this is me, if I live somewhere free for a year, I'm stacking my money. I would take that as a come up, not a come down, a come up. I'm going to try to make as much money as I can, I'm going to save something. So at least when I go to the next location, I'm kind of set up. And I can't really remember if he was working during that time, but he should have been. If he wasn't, could have been. But after that year, when the money ran out, he went to where he was paying weekly. I think like $159 a week somewhere, maybe $50 a month for utilities in a home where each room is rented out. Some of the people in the bedrooms had a roommate. Actually, another one of my friends ended up being his roommate. That's a whole nother story. And that was this past few months. And at some point, job changed or got fired. But at the beginning of the year, he actually had a decent job with benefits and a real decent restaurant job. And this is where I guess it started, the bottom started falling out. He was only at that job for, I think, you guys, a week. Woke up one night, he said, this is what he says, and he lies too. And I know he's lying on certain things. I'm not boo-boo the fool. I'm not stupid. Come on now. But he said that he woke up like 3 a.m. and took a drink. And he wasn't drinking soft things. He's drinking hard liquor. And went to work. Still got up to go to work and made it into work. And I guess he looked at like he had been through a war, because the people asked him, are you on drugs? Basically, are you doing drugs? And I don't know what he said. He could have just said, no, I got a hangover. I was up late drinking. Tell the truth sometimes. The truth could have kept him that job. I don't know. But they told him to go home, and he ended up not coming back. Because who wants someone that looks like they're doing drugs working at their restaurant? No one. Bloodshot eyes, probably half functioning. I don't know. But that's how he lost his job, and that's how he ended up at my home. And I actually even paid his rent for a couple of weeks. So trying to see if he could work it out and get back on track quickly. Didn't happen. But that's how he ended up at my house. And on my birthday, January the 18th. He's been at my house since January the 18th. So it's probably about 10 weeks now. He did find another job. And he doesn't have a real big problem finding jobs. It's keeping them. And I've heard a couple stories of why he left one job. Of course, COVID, everything shut down. But, if you don't have other options, you need to keep your job at all costs. You can't just quit because somebody offends you or something is said or done. You need to take that to management and let them know what's going on, because you need your job. That's how you take care of yourself. That's how you pay your rent, your bills, And then don't let me forget, it's been a lot. So, came to my house on my birthday, January 18th. He decided to go on a 3-day binge of drinking in my living room. He's sleeping on the couch in my living room. So he basically drank all day, passed out at night or in between drinking for 3 days straight. And of course, I'm still working. I've got, my other family in the house. So we're just watching you binge out for 3 days straight. I believe on the 3rd day, one of his previous girlfriends called the ambulance for him so he could go kind of detox. But why would you come to someone's home that's helping you and binge out for 3 days straight? You couldn't have binged out at your own damn house where you was at before? And when he does things like this, it just shows me a lack of concern and care for me as a friend. He said, well, I wanted to get it out of my system. You could have got it out of your system wherever the hell you was living at before you came to my house. Which would have been considerate if that's something you thought you really needed to do. But I'm your friend. Yeah. So. And I really don't think I am a real friend, because he does things that I've asked him, stop asking me for money. Stop. Yeah, that's the main thing. Money. Stop asking me for money. You're a grown man. You don't have any kids up on you. He has a 10-year-old son. But he doesn't live with him. At one point, he was living with him when I first met him, 4 or 5 years, I don't know how many years ago. And I am even not sure how that worked from what I see now, but that was his coming to my home, a 3-day binge. He did eventually find a job. He's been working somewhere for the last month or so. And I'm asking him, are you saving money? You need to be saving money so you can get up out of my house. I do not really hold my tongue on what I'm seeing, or, you're not going to come here and drink that hard liquor. You need to stop that. You need to tone it down because you don't do well, evidently. It's in black and white. But I have found some bottles in the trash. One day I was throwing something away. He's supposed to only be drinking, lower content things. Found a bottle in the trash. Was not really looking for it. Throwing something away. Yesterday, I was out on my porch with my mom, having Tristan pick up some trash on the side of the house, and there were 3 E&J bottles in a pot that I use for plants. So he's still continuing to drink, and his excuse was he put those in there before he went to the bus. But you're still drinking harder stuff. It's not helping you. And if you're going to change, you have to stop doing some of the things that you're doing. So I really don't know what his outlook looks like as far as his future, because I'm not really seeing a whole lot of things that he's changing. And then I'm just have to sit here and watch while you're in my house. I have not asked him to pay any bills here. Don't want you to pay any bills here, for real. I just want you to move on, save your money, and move on. And he does have a lot of health issues. He has diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, neuropathy, has some acid reflux when he eats or drinks, eats certain things. And I'm not understanding some things. He has the acid reflux, especially when he eats spicy foods. But he continues to eat spicy foods. Okay. Yep. What else does he have? Difficulty walking long distances, but he does walk to get on the bus because he does not have a driver's license. He could not have a driver's license because when he drinks certain things, he passes out. So, by God's grace, he has not killed anyone or his son that was riding with him at times, I believe, in a car. And he has not said that. And my thing is, your life would look totally different if you stopped drinking completely. And that's what he needs to do. I think some people can kind of tame their drinking, I think. But his struggle is you don't need to be drinking at all. And if your drinking is destroying parts of your life, your health, your relationships, none of his family really messes with him anymore, I believe. And I used to be like, well, they're being really mean. And, I'm always trying to look at brighter things, and your family's being really mean to them. But I see why now. Who wants to deal with someone who is always drunk? Pretty much every day you're drinking enough to pass out. He says his medication puts him out a lot, which it could be, but you're drinking too, so. But I definitely think if he stopped a lot of the drinking, or all of the drinking, a lot of his health issues would just clear up. But living with an alcoholic, and this has only been a few weeks, y'all, I cannot imagine living with someone who was your significant other who has an alcoholic problem. It would just be depressing every day, frustrating every day. Living with the alcoholic not only can take a toll on your friendships, but also your mental health. I was reading where some people started therapy after living with someone's support. Because sometimes you need to set boundaries, but this is only temporary. He's got a few more weeks, and I need to see where you're going. What are you going to do? You got to go. And I've had honest conversations with him. I try to speak to people in black and white with honesty, but I shouldn't have to be getting upset with someone I'm trying to help. I'm giving you a place to stay, somewhere to lay your head. You don't have to worry about food. You haven't bought any necessities here for real. He's bought some bread, some eggs, some things that he wanted. But other than that, toilet paper, paper towels, he has bought soap for himself, washing your clothes and things of such nature, but he really doesn't have any responsibilities here. So there should be no reason why he should not be saving money to move. And now he's talking about it. I'm looking for places and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to see some action real soon. And I don't know what occurred in his past. He has had some people that passed away early in his past, but it's 2024 today. We gotta learn how to let things go, especially if they're not serving you. And that does not mean you don't remember someone or honor someone, but are you honoring them by the way you're living your life? And I would say no. But it has been a little bit frustrating. He does some things. He's not a good roommate. My daughter isn't a good roommate either, and I'll let you know you're not a good roommate. And some of the things he does, Tristan does, you're not cleaning up after yourself for real. You're not doing things that should be making sense as an almost 50-year-old man, which is aggravating. I'm already have kids that are here that I gotta get after. I shouldn't have to get after you as a 50-year-old man living in my house for free. A guest that I'm trying to help by providing a place to stay. But yes, you guys, this has been some of the things I've been going through the last 9 or 10 weeks. And as far as dysfunctional, I forgot to, let me look at that word. Dysfunctional means a certain thing. And we all have some dysfunctional traits. We all do. No one's perfect. Like I said before, a lot of people, you got this together, but there's something else you don't have together. And that's all of us. That's me too. I have some dysfunctional traits too, believe it or not. I do. And I try to work on some things that I know I need to work on. Boundaries, that's something I've been working on the last few years. But dysfunction means impaired or abnormal functioning, abnormal or unhealthy interpersonal behavior or interaction within a group. And we have, as a family, it's a group. Your family, it's a group. So are you being functional or dysfunctional? He comes home every day. Of course, he pops out that drink and starts watching, I call them hood shows on the TV every night. Have not seen him bust out a motivational video or, how can I combat this alcoholism? What do I need to do? And he has not talked about getting into alcohol program. There is one program at a shelter that he told me about where it's very strict. There's no drinking. You're accounted for everything every day. You have these meetings every day, all day. After a year, they help you get your own place and do this, that, and blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't want to do that, of course. But he'd rather be ending up on my couch. And you have a son that you need to help take care of. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of perspective. I don't see a good outcome because you're not really trying to change. You still want to continue to drink. Evidently, if you're 50 years old, you have not learned or don't want to learn how to get rid of that problem because you haven't really went into a program. And I know that addictions are very real. They've taken over your bodily functions, there are chemical reactions and things in your body. It feels like you can't stop, but there are people who stop. But I definitely think he needs to get into a program. But it has been very frustrating. So y'all be praying for me because it's different. But hopefully he keeps his job. Hopefully he can save enough money. And I hope I have to be able to see that he's saving shortly. Because you can't just tell me you're saving and not going anywhere. But I hope he does get his stuff together enough to get into his place. But he's going to have to create some more better habits and disciplines for himself. I can't do that. And that's what is some of the things I've read or listened to. You can't control someone's drinking. You can't stop them from drinking. Is nothing that you're doing wrong or anything you say can go in one ear and out the other. It is only up to them to stop doing drugs. If it is detrimental to their life, it is only up to them to stop drinking if it is detrimental to their life and their health and their children and their family and their relationships. It is up to them solely. But yes, you guys, this has been another Real Talk with Amiri podcast. And if you are living with an alcoholic, there are places and resources to help you cope with living with an alcoholic. And if you are an alcoholic, if it is detrimental and destructive to your life, your children, your family, your spouse, your partner, go get real help. It's out there. And there are resources. But you have to stop being in denial and own up to the problem that you really have. But yes, this has been another Real Talk with Amiri podcast. Everyone have a great night. Peace.